Hello, I'm attorney Dennis Brislawn, Brislawn4 in the Private Client Law Group, and I'm here today to answer a question on many of your minds, and that is, how do I know I need an estate plan? Well, first of all, planning is not an it, and I get that question a lot too. What does it cost? What do I need? Planning is a process, and what I prefer to do is help people define their goals. What do you want? What are you lacking? What keeps you awake at night? And then what we do as we map these things out, we inventory. Who do you love? Who are you concerned about besides yourself? What objectives do you have in the charitable world, if any? What keeps you awake at night about your money and your resources? Which leads us to the next item. Once we've inventoried the people and the causes in your life, we inventory your assets and your liabilities. That gives your estate planning professional, whether it's an attorney, a CPA, a financial advisor, or an insurance agent, and there are many of these people that are very, very good. It gives them the context in which to start creating solutions for your goals. Everybody needs a plan. The right plan for you depends on you. There's a treasure chest of options, but somebody needs to help you sort through that to pick out the right ones for you and your family. The second question I tend to get is, what does it cost? Well, let's go back to basics. First of all, most people that do estate planning are asking about a will-based plan or a living trust-based plan. In a different segment, we'll go through those in detail. Will-based plans are tied to the probate system and your local court system. A will is a document that really is intended to do its magic in front of a judge. A living trust, on the other hand, is a document where you spell out how things work. You name yourself and successors as trustees. And those people have legal power over trust assets without the intervention of a court. A little more complicated than that, but I think you get the idea. The it question is about, what does it cost? Folks, if you think about it, that's a pretty unfair question because you're a unique individual. Your affairs are different than everyone else's. And while the name of the plan you might choose is the same as someone else's name, living trust or will, the fact is these documents and the documents that make them work perfectly well for you, such as powers of attorney, healthcare instructions, those documents all need to be calibrated to you. So it's fair to say what is a range of prices for such things, but your best bet is to contact an estate planning attorney with the expertise of the kind that you require. You will find that certain attorneys do more trust planning, certain do less. Certain attorneys hold themselves out as elder law specialists. One of these attorneys should be able to answer your questions, come up with a recommended plan design, and quote you a fee. If you're like me, you've paid close attention to the unveiling of the Bernie Madoff scandal. $60 billion or more certainly grabs my attention. Well, you're asking yourself now, who do I trust? I'll do my best to help you answer that question. You know, in planning for your affairs, you really want to avoid the downside and maximize your upside, whether it's investments or law or anything else. So I start this way. My law firm believes in integrated planning. The law sets up the context of your plan. It sets up the parameters of who is in charge of your affairs if you're not healthy, what happens if you're not healthy, who is to be taken care of, how about tax planning, and what occurs when I die. That's sort of what the law does. If you're a business owner, we protect your assets, we apply them, and someday we help you succeed out of business, sell it for a profit. Well, that's not enough. In my world, the best kind of planning is under tension. That means that there's more than one professional that you interact with, and those professionals need to talk to each other. They need to look at each other with respect, but also with a weather eye as to what are you recommending, how does it fit with what I'm recommending, and how does this help you, our client. So the professions that are basic to most people would be the law for estate planning, business planning, accounting for taxes and compliance, and you really want to reduce your taxes if you can. And you want that account to help you learn where to go in the future, not just to report the history from your past. An investment advisor. Now, an investment advisor is the person that manages the chemical mix of your assets so that you can live your life with a little bit of safety and a little bit of assurance. You really want to have an ability to get through and to be okay. You need an insurance agent. An insurance agent is somebody that helps you manage risk, whether it's a life insurance agent or a liability insurance agent, such as you use for your car or your house. The other area, and it's an area where many people start, is financial advising. I've heard so many people say to me, well, I do as well investing on my own as a financial advisor could. And I just nod my head and hope that that's correct. The fact is that I believe that most of us are emotional beings, way too caught up in the pros and the cons of our own decision making. And I think that almost all of us have a need for outside financial advising. I like to come up with a plan. What's the objective? If we understand your resources, then we can come up with a plan how best to employ them. And if things don't work out as well as hoped, there should be a measurement tool by which we can decide whether to make change, and if so, how much. So a financial advisor is critical. But in fact, all the advisors are critical. In my law firm, we believe in interdisciplinary and integrated planning. That means that every advisor, hopefully once a year or whenever you, our client, asks for it, gets together and does a common briefing. We all compare our notes, we measure it against our client's plan, and we decide in our own areas of expertise what changes need to be considered or implemented. Now, if you don't have an attorney or someone that pulls together your team and helps combine this knowledge into one plan, then it's up to you. But either way, I think that that's how people get the best outcome from very fine plans. If our video presentations have been helpful to you, you may be interested in working with me or with my law firm. We're located in the greater Seattle area, and we commonly help people throughout Western Washington. I'm licensed in other states as well. But the truth is, there's a resource available to you of fine attorneys, most of whom I know personally, that are all independent, and they may be located near you. Go on the internet to www.wealthcounsel.com, and there's a member directory there. And you can mention my name, and there's a good chance that the Wealth Counsel member who lives near you knows me, and they'll help you. And they'll help you pick the kind of advisors that can build out your team and get you the result you deserve for the rest of your life.